Okay, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Presley's Pod. It is currently Friday morning. We're cozy. We're staying in bed this morning. I don't have anywhere to be until noon today. So I'm really going to take this time to just enjoy my morning and stay in my pajamas, okay? These are my favorite. Victoria's Secret, they honestly know what they're doing when it comes to pajamas, okay? So, first things first, you can probably hear it in my voice, right? If you remember a couple episodes back when I made fun of Lauren's man, and Lauren and Addie are my two closest friends locked in. You may be seeing them soon next week. What? Guests on Presley's Pod? Oh my gosh. So I made fun of Lauren's man, maybe potential boyfriend. They're the ones with like the potential boyfriends. Okay. We're kind of getting even closer to that territory. So that's the update there. I made fun of him for having the sniffles. No, I made fun of him because he said he had the sniffles. A 30 something year old man, very successful, saying that he has the sniffles. And that just made me giggle. What happens after that, you ask? Presley gets the sniffles. Karma. I got not like a violent cold, but a 2 day cold that really took me out. And I have yet for this nose stuff to go away, okay? I've tried Flonase, I've tried a humidifier, and now I'm starting to realize that maybe it's something in my apartment. It's also very cold and dry outside. So I'm looking at my AC that's currently on and I'm like, how clean are you? Are you just blasting dirt into my nostrils while I sleep? Probably. So I ordered the Beekeeper's nose spray that is a like a sub to Flonase if you don't want to keep using Flonase, or I've been using Flonase and it's unfortunately not working if you couldn't tell. So I'm hoping that something clears up soon so I can stop sounding like this. Everyone's like, "Are you sick?" And I'm like, "No, I promise. It's just every time I go to the chiropractor, he's like, "You sound," which is a lot. Okay, I go once a week. He's like, "You sound a little congested." I'm like, "Yeah, but I feel fine. It's just I don't know." So if anyone has any remedies, help a girl out, okay? So Lauren and I went to our lunch, our ladies who lunch 2 p.m. We went to, I think it's pronounced Avra on 60th and Park if you're a New York City girly. That restaurant is stunning. It is so beautiful. And it was funny because walking in, I was like, wait, I've been here before. I remembered like the tree in the middle. And so I think, my parents are like, one of the they're like 2 out of the 10 subscribers to this, so let me know, but I'm pretty sure we've eaten there as a family before, like way back in the day, like maybe when I was in college. The food was so good, like so good. We got wine, we had fun, and Lauren had a gift card, shout out. So I mean, the bill came and we were like, wow. Wow. So that's not going to be a weekly occurrence for us, but it was very, very fun. And I'm such a big fan of doing something during the day. Then you go home and you have your whole night ahead of you to rest, recover, and get ready for the next day. And I will say, I heard through the grapevine that if you're a New York City girlie, that the location on 48th and somewhere near Grand Central, like if you want to meet someone, like that is where the bros go, whereas we just kind of wanted like a nice white tablecloth pretty restaurant vibe. So yeah, maybe I'll have to adventure down to 48. It sounds a little scary down there. So yeah, so much fun. Update, it's already November. It's November 7th, and I'm like, whoa, we're flying by. But what's nice now is work has kind of settled ish. We're kind of starting to get settled into a routine. So now I feel better about sending my energy and my focus other places, because if you remember, I'm a stressor, okay? When work is chaos, that's all I can think about. The good kind of chaos, but that's all I can think about. I always want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can to be ready for the next day. But I also remember that I have to like live my life. So I'm really working on trying to find that balance. And it was so funny because the week that I uploaded the episode about how I needed to go out more, It was also Halloween weekend, okay? So I go to the lunch, and then my friends are like, "Oh, do you want to come to this concert with us? You know, it's Halloween. Are you going to they all like congregate at this bar. They're like, "Are you going? A Friday night event, a Saturday night event?" And I was like, and they were so funny. They said, Presley, like, you just said that you have to go out more. And I'm like, let's start with lunch, okay? That is a good starting point for me. And then maybe we can go from there. So yeah, it's already November, which is crazy. And I feel very excited for the rest of the year. And I feel a little bit more settled in getting things done that I want to get done before the end of the year. Last week we talked about having a few goals to accomplish by the end of the year, just so that you can go into the new year feeling very like clean slate, refresh. I love the idea of just like leaving the end of the year and that last year behind and then coming into the new year with a clean slate. So whatever you need to do to accomplish November, December, now is your time, okay? Now is your time. So I wanted to, last week I feel like I preached a little. And so this week I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to sit back and tell a story. And it's funny because I don't know if anyone else in New York has experienced this, but a couple years ago, you could get a date left and right, okay? Two a day, three a day. No, I'm kidding. But you really could. I just felt like everyone was always going out and like dating each other a little bit more. Now, if I'm like, whoa, where is everybody? And it's funny because I look around at all of my friends. I vividly remember we were all sitting on a couch and I was like looking around at the most stunning, single, successful women. And I was like, this is crazy that none of us have a boyfriend. It's crazy. I mean, it's not that we're like actively trying to go out and find one, but not even a boyfriend, but like we've had like maybe we go on a one date and then we don't go on any dates. And I was like, huh, I wonder what's going on. But I truly think it's something that's kind of like fluctuated throughout the years. And honestly, I'm kind of here for it because we all saw I think it was British Vogue article about how having a boyfriend is embarrassing, which love, obsessed. I read the whole thing and I said, yep, period. Um, and I think I saw someone else talking about it on a podcast, and now I can't remember who. It just kind of popped up on my For You page, but she said it's not having a boyfriend that's embarrassing, it's having a loser boyfriend that's embarrassing. I think we all know those people that they just kind of have a boyfriend to have a boyfriend. And I always want to be like, do you like him? Like, do you actually like him? And I think for me, getting into a relationship is a big deal. So I don't want to project that onto other people that are like, oh, like boyfriend here, boyfriend there. And if that's like how they like to date, I don't want to be like, that's wrong. But sometimes I feel like people get into relationships just because that's the next step. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, you don't have to. You can break it off at any time. And so I think that article coming out is just, and if you haven't read it, please go read it. It was great. Um, is just a reminder that like you don't have to have a boyfriend if you don't want one. And there's nothing wrong with being the girl that everyone's like, why are you single? I think I told this story in my first episode, maybe the Naples recap, where the Lauren, Addie, and I were sitting at a bar. We were talking to this woman and she was asking us, if we had boyfriends, and this was well into the conversation, after we were talking about what we do for a living and why we were in Florida, etc. And she was like, what? You three don't have, you're not dating anyone? And we were like, no. And she was like, wow. And that's when she told us that we're unicorns, and then we made matching unicorns hats, and that just really sent us on our way. We needed a win that day. So I was like, well, I don't have any current dating stories to tell because there's again no one, but things are looking promising with my friends, so I will infiltrate their men's friend groups. Um I thought, let's go back in time. Okay, let's go back to a time when Presley could get a date left and right. Okay. And granted, I was on Hinge during this time. So it wasn't like people were doing anything in person, but truly it was just, I felt like people were more Like, oh, we match. Okay, you seem cool. Whatever. Let's go out. Here's the date. Here's the time. I don't know what's happening now, but that's whatever. So, literally just coughed like a 90-year-old smoker. Okay, so um back in the day, okay, I was casually dating a few people. And one man that I was casually dating had two dogs. One dog, more of like an older couch dog. We would take him for a walk around the block, and that was like pretty much all he could do. The other one, spring chicken, okay? Younger, limber. I don't know how to describe dogs, but this dog could like bounce around for hours. So, this man suggests that we go on a hike and bring the dogs. So we plan to go on this hike. I meet him at his place. We drive, we take the dogs, and we are on our way. We probably drove an hour outside of the city, and this was, I think I remember being like, okay, well, I'm just gonna eat. I think it was early. I wasn't hungry, so I was like, well, I need something, so I'm gonna eat a banana, no breakfast, coffee, but I'm gonna go on this hike. I had dinner plans with someone else that night, but I was like, we'll be back, hour there, hour hike, hour back, done. I'll be back with plenty of time to like lay in bed and recover before we go to dinner with someone else. Sorry, not sorry. So we're driving to the hike, we're listening to music, the dogs are in the back, we stop for snacks. He told me that he has done this hike before and that it's an easy hike. He also told me that the dogs, including the older one, had done this hike before. And I said, okay, I'll take your word for it, sir. Because there was just like a little birdie in the back of my head that said, how is that older dog going to go on this hike? Stunning dog, but not meant for a hike. Yeah. So we get there, we park, we're getting the leashes out, we walk to the base of the hike, and I literally go like this. And I look at the trail above me, literally going straight up to the sky. And I said, oh, okay. So, couple thoughts. First things first, not an easy hike. Granted, great, good to know. Second thing second, I definitely should have eaten more than just a banana because I don't even think I'm going to make it all the way up there. Third of all, I'm looking at the dog. The dog's like bigger than the trail. And I'm like, there is no way that this dog has done this hike before. There's literally no way that this dog is going to make it through this hike. It was hot too. I think it was, yeah, it must have been summertime. And this was a couple of years ago. So we start going up the hike, right? We're going slow, whatever. We have the dog, the other dogs. There weren't a lot of people there. The other dogs like bouncing around, going up the trail, like way in front of us. And all of a sudden, the older dog starts slowing down. The older dog is we're maybe like almost to the top. The older dog is like refusing to walk anymore. And I said, yeah, I would be doing the same thing if I was you. I would want to get out of there ASAP. And then it kind of took a turn into like maybe this poor dog was having a heat stroke or something was going on. Like laying down, couldn't move. We were doing like water. People were walking by asking us if he was okay. And we were like, yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Like, and I started to get a little bit nervous. Luckily, the guy, like, he's very, like type A, in control. Like, he knew what to do. But I was just like, oh, this, like, I felt very like, oh, this is not good. And I knew it wasn't going to be good. But I was like, this is not my dog. Like, I didn't want to, whatever. I was like, if he said the dog can do it, the dog can do it. So the dog is not well. The dog is very, very unwell, like breathing very heavily, like can't move, laying down. So he tells me to go take the other dog up to the top because he wants me to like see the view and like we came all this way, whatever. So I'm like, okay. I literally go up to the top, take like one look around, and I'm like, I have to go back down there to help because this is like, this could get a little scary, if you know what I mean. So take a look around, whatever. Great. We go back down. I go back down to meet them. The dog, like, is not, can't move, like, won't move. So we basically slowly start, like, he's kind of carrying him. We're like walking a little bit, and this dog is huge. And I was like, thank God this guy's athletic. This dog is massive. So he's carrying him. Like, we're kind of like, I'm with the other dog. There's like dirt everywhere, like literally everywhere, because he's like picking up the dog after the dog had been laying down. Like, we are covered head to toe in dirt. We're like trying to take the dog down. So this hike ended up being lit the entire day. The entire day it took us from like going up and like having that issue and then going down very, very slowly. And so we make it back down to the bottom. We get the dog in the car, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely not going to make that dinner, so I cancel on the other guy, and I'm like, sorry, we hit traffic. I'm not going to make it back in time. But he drops me off at my place, and I'm like, are you sure? Like, I can come with you, like, to help you get back up to yours. I mean, his place had like doorman elevator, so I feel like he'd be fine, but I just wanted to make sure that I offered. And he said that when he drove back to his, the dog couldn't get out of the car. So there's actually an animal hospital nearby. And so he like ended up driving back up and taking the dog to the hospital. And I think what happened was the dog just overheated. And um the like the hike was just like truly a bad idea, and like he seemed very excited about it, this guy, and I was like, okay, but deep down I knew it was like not really, not a good idea. So, and also, like, I had been seeing this person for a while, so I fully trusted driving an hour outside of the city to go on a hike. You know, it wasn't like in the middle of nowhere. This is a known trail. But maybe I just want to say, like, PSA, like, don't go on a hike for a first date, because you never know what could happen. But I think in a weird way, when something like that happens on a date, like when something happens, or when something like goes wrong, or there's like some, not like an emergency, but when something happens, that can kind of show you even more of the person. Because if you're just going on dates and everything's perfect, you're going to dinner, he pays, you go home, etc., you almost feel like, sometimes I leave those dates and I'm like, I feel like I don't know you at all. But the fact that we went through that together, I was like, okay, I can see how he handles stressful situations. I mean, granted, I was like, we shouldn't have, I knew from the beginning that we should not have taken the other dog, but it was in a weird way a better way to get to know him and to get to know like how he would handle something like that. So I think that is like a great way to, because if I had just taken a step back and I was like, I'm not helping you, like, I don't want to get dirt on myself, like, blah, 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 like that is insane. So like, if you're dating someone and something like that happens, like, show up how you would show up if you're in a relationship, because things like that happen. Like, Lauren's going through something with like her potential man is like having some family stuff right now, and she's showing up for him like as she would if they were dating, and I can literally see how it's bringing them closer. So I think even if it's someone that you're seeing casually, like, they're still a person. And so if they're still they're still a human being. So if they're going through something and if they like need your help in that moment, like, be there for them. And if it doesn't work out, then like it doesn't work out, but still we're all good people. And I think we can be a little bit more human when it comes to dating. I think we're so quick to just see people as like, oh, like, he's just this tall, this bank account check, job, whatever, and like only look at the outside, but just like make sure that you know that like he's a human being too. Okay. We don't need the human beings. We don't need like the incompetent Sabrina Carpenter man child. But, you know, if something happens, like, be there for that person. So yes, that was my hiking story. And then I ended up seeing the other guy, you know, another time, and it all worked out. But I wanted to also say my hot take of the week, and maybe this is going to be a new series. But my hot take of the week this week is when I walk onto the subway and I see that it's all men sitting down, Like I truly can't. I can't. And it's all women standing. I'm like, why are you why are you sitting? Are you so tired from what? From literally doing what? From doing nothing? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Sorry, that was kind of rude, but some that's just when you're having a tough day in New York City and you get on the subway and you just see all men sitting and women standing. You're like, this tracks. This tracks. So I hope that everyone has a great weekend. Happy Friday. And I think next week, again, I might have the girls on for, some more content episodes. So make sure you like and subscribe, follow me on TikTok, and have a great week. Bye.